Following the deadly shootings that killed 8 people at spas in Atlanta, we've learned one of the victims has a local connection. Paul Michaels, a native of Metro Detroit, was killed just doing his job. As Paul's family tries to come to grips with the loss, his brother spoke with our Larry Spruill today.
The most recent shootings in Atlanta at several massage spas are really taking a toll on a lot of people in our country. And now that pain is being felt here in Michigan as well. Today, I spoke with one of the victims' brothers about what happened.
I'm walking between reality and denial.
John Michaels is still trying to digest what happened to his twin brother, 54-year-old Paul Michaels.
Is it reality? Not till I see the body, probably, coffin. So it's that thing. It's like, do I want to believe it or do I not want to believe it?
His brother Paul was one of the victims shot and killed in the shootings at several massage spas in Metro Atlanta. His brother tells me Paul worked with security systems and was at the Cherokee location finishing up a project when the gunman walked in.
No, he was there servicing the security system. So he was actually, they were a client of his. So he was servicing their security system. While I was at work at my lunchtime, my sister Ann said, call her. So I called her and she told me, and I didn't tell my boss. I wrote him a note, showed him a note because I was not speaking. And I didn't speak to no one the rest of the day, really.
He did call the rest of the family to let them know.
Well, they're handling it. We're not really, we talk about it. We're talking about funeral plans.
John says the last couple of days have been tough, but he's holding on to the memories of his twin brother.
I was up here in Flint. He was up in Atlanta. We'd meet at Cedar Point and spend the weekend together. So things like that was what we did together as brothers.
I asked him if he could talk to the man who killed his brother. What would he say?
I'm at peace. As soon as I heard about it, I just said, Lord, you told me to forgive. I've already forgiven the man.
Larry Spruill, Local 4.